Okay, everybody, I'm going to do a quick video today on fixing the bead repair on our Beetle here. It's where the wheel gets corroded from the aluminum there, and it starts to create a leak there. The tire won't seal anymore, but we put 2 used tires on it probably a couple months ago, and we just hit it with a wire brush. We probably should have did it like we're getting ready to do it here in the video the right way, but we're going to show you that today. One thing there, I'm going to have to voice over this whole video because I made a mistake and I put the wrong end on the camera there. I used the one for the computer instead of the camera. It's like a fitting that came with this microphone. I got a replacement one because in the last video it was acting up, and now I messed up and didn't put the right thing. I said, oh man, hopefully we get this soon, you know, but we'll get it. But I'll voice over it and get everything good there for you guys, and try to go over it with you to tell you what I've done on there. Hopefully this helps you guys, and let's get to it. All right, let's get this bad boy off the car here. Just using a cordless Milwaukee impact, and things work pretty good. The floor jack's just a Harbor Freight one. Very, very nice jacks too. But we'll get it inside here, and then we'll get the air pressure up on this thing. All right, we're going to air it up just a little bit above the factory specs, usually 5 pounds. This helps when you're looking for the leak by having a little more pressure in the tire. Okay, once we get it up there, we'll go ahead and spray the valve core first, and then around the bead. Make sure we don't see any bubbles anywhere. And yep, we spot some right here on the front. You can see these little bubbles in here. Yeah, I always try to move it around to make sure that it ain't just the, you know, where it's moving around or something, creating the bubbles, but just double check it. We'll go ahead and get it flipped around, do the same on the back here. Yeah, once we're sure that everything's good on the sides, and we'll go ahead and spray the top of the tire. Try to get some on the sides too. Sometimes you get a nail that goes in and out of them, and you won't catch it. Keep a good eye out here on where the top of the tire is. Sometimes it's a little tricky and it'll get by you. Alright, so we done found our leaks there. They're definitely in the sides. We're going to remove the core here, get all the air out of it. Here I'm going to break down the bead. You can do this top first, back first. I don't know, everybody does it a little bit different. I always do the back first. Throw it down in the comments there if it's how you do it, if you're working at a tire shop or have done it before. I just always have done the back first. Once we get these beads broke down here, I want to show you guys this little power assist lifting thing here. It's pretty cool. I'll tell you, when you're messing with big tires, heavy ones, that really is helpful right there. This machine here, it's supposed to be designed to do like real low profile tires, big tires, and all sorts. We've got some pretty small tires off in the past, but it still gives you problems on the real low profile ones. So some of the guys come through here when we powder coat their wheels, they got really like rubber bands on, and those are super tough to get on and off. Yeah, as I was saying before, this is a Atlas PTC 600. Really nice machine. It's got all the assisted arms. So here we're going to zoom in here and look at this corrosion. Look at this stuff. I mean, it is just cruddy. We should have never put them tires on over this, but we just hit it with a hand wire brush before and tried to put the bead sealer on it. But you see I broke it back down now. So what we'll do here, we'll just take this electric drill with the wire brush on it. We'll get it spinning around and clean it up real good. I usually try to go in the bead first and where the tire seals, and then do the edges and across the bottom, last. I don't think it matters what order you do it in, but that's just what I'm doing here. But we'll hit the bottom first, and then we'll go ahead and get the top afterwards. I'll show you what it looks like after. Okay, so when you're done there, just inspect it good. Make sure it's blowed off and clean. Before you put your bead seal, you want to make sure all this stuff is blowed off good. Okay, we're gonna grab our bead sealer here. When I put this on, I like to put it on. You go to these tire shops and they just whip it on real quick. But I like to coat it real nice. I'll show you a close-up when we're done here, but you want to put it on good and let it dry, and then you'll see how nice it is. The surface where this tire is going to have to seal when we're done with it here. But when you just slosh it on real quick, you get that, you know what I mean? It's just not the right way, but just get it on real good. Don't be afraid to put it on there. Here's me just spilling it everywhere. Okay, here's after it's been sitting for like, I don't know, 5 minutes. But look how nice the area is now. It's got a good surface to seal against, you know. Yeah, and the dry time on this, I guess it's going to matter on the temperature outside, you know. So just when you see it dry, you're ready to roll. So on the tire bead here itself, it's picked up a lot of that crud from the aluminum wheel. So we're going to have to get this off. Wire brush, anything to scrape with, but you want to get this clean. So I'm going to start here with the wire brush. As you can see, it's not getting it good. So I'm going to go ahead and get one of these little wood chisels. It's got a nice edge on it. And we'll just clean it with that on both sides and make sure everything's nice and clean before you go putting it back on the wheel. Yeah, it was literally just falling off right here where I'm scraping it with my fingernail. So here's these little chisels I was talking about. They work good for a lot of stuff. I mean, I use these things for all kind of stuff, but just make sure all this stuff is off, and that way you got a nice clean seal where we put the bead sealer on the wheel and where this tire edge is. Right here you can see some of the old bead sealer right here where I'm peeling it off, this rubber. But you can see how good that stuff is. It'll stick to the tire as long as your surface is nice and clean, you know. So just make sure all this stuff is real clean. Okay, once again, blow it off. Make sure everything's super nice and clean here. I mean, don't be afraid to even take some liquid of some kind to wipe this off. I just blow it here, but I'm just saying clean, clean, clean is what you want. All right, we're getting ready to mount it back on here. This stuff I use to get the wheel back on. Back in the day, you used to use like a soapy liquid. This stuff here is pretty good. It's like a paste, and it's like a real slick paste, but what it does is it'll dry and it'll help seal also. So it's kind of doing two things. At least that's what I've gotten from it. But it lets it get on the rim real nice. And then once we get these coated here, you want to make sure and check your tire for directional. It's either going to have arrows on it, or it'll say inside and outside on the sidewall there, but make sure you're putting it on the right way so you don't have your tires on wrong. So on here, as you can see, it's you know, with the tire machine, it's super easy. But if you're doing it at home on the ground, a lot of people, they'll use like pry bars and have a couple guys or a buddy, have a buddy help you a little bit. But they'll go on, you know, just keep working at it. So we'll get the air pressure back up here. What I do here is I'll go over a little bit again on the air pressure. So when you're putting your valve core back in, you have a little bit of playroom with your air coming out of it. And once we get the thing all set back on the rim there, we'll make sure all the old weights are off here before we get it on the balancer here. Just make sure it's clean somewhat. We'll get it with the wire brush where we need to here when it shows us where to put the weights at. All right, here we're going to find the right adapters, and then we'll get it mounted up on the machine here. Okay, once we got it mounted up here, we'll go through our settings. Usually I set the weights first, the kind we're going to use. On this we're going to use, they call it static, so it's just stick weights on the inside, and it equals it out across the inside of the back of the wheel. And then we'll set our dimensions of the wheel here with this assist arm. Basically you just step on this pedal down here when you put it where the machine's telling you. And then once all your settings are accepted, you're ready to roll. All right, all set. Just close the door, let it spin, and it'll give us a reading here. It'll tell us exactly where it wants it at. It's telling us we need a ½ ounce on the outside edge here. So what I'll do is I'll clean it with the wire drill again, the wire brush. Now on a nice clean new wheel, I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna just clean it slowly with some kind of a mild, you know, like a maybe mineral spirits or something like that. Just something that ain't gonna hurt the wheel. Wax and grease remover. This stuff here is like a prep. You know, it helps make the weight stick a little better. But I'll wipe it on real good with the rag, and then make sure once you wipe it down here, and then we'll get the blowgun out and help air dry it a little bit too. Okay, we're good and dry here. So when I put these weights on, I'll separate them in half. Like here on a ½ ounce, these are ¼ ounce weights, so I'll make sure when I mount it where this laser light is, I'm right in the middle. Same as if it was, you know, 2 ounces or whatever it's wanting. I always make sure I try to half and half it. You know, put the weights where it's in the center of the laser. That way it's putting it right where it wants it. Okay, one last check here. We got our weight on it, and then we'll spin her again, and hopefully we see an okay on the screen here. Okay, so one last check here before we get it back on the car. We want to spray it all down again. I usually check around the valve core, all around the beads again, you know, just like we did in the beginning. We want to make sure our leak's gone. But I'll recheck everything. We know the top of the tire is not leaking because it didn't before, but just where your leaks were, just double check it again. Okay, we're good to go, so we're going to go ahead and get this thing back up on here. They make a little alignment tool for these. I don't have one. I like to get one, but they're little like pins, and it makes it so much nicer on these foreign cars like Mercedes, BMW, Volkswagen, because the whole rotor turns in there, and it's really tough. But once you get your first lug started, you're good. But them pins are helpful, really helpful. Okay, once we get them all lined up there, we'll go ahead and get our impact back. I usually just get them hand tight first and then hit them with the impact here. Okay, good and tight here. This little center cap, it's missing a couple tabs, so it fought me getting it back on. But I eventually got it here with the screwdriver, the help of the screwdriver. Okay, all set here. We'll get the car dropped down and we're all set. Okay, everybody, hope you guys enjoyed that quick little video there on that repair. Hopefully it helps someone out. I want to throw some videos out there, just stuff like that. Hopefully you guys can put some stuff there in the comments. Maybe you guys want to see some stuff, you know. I really appreciate you guys watching this. Please like, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel grow. Not only does it encourage me that you guys are watching and, you know, saying things and liking it or don't like it or whatever, but it does help the channel grow. Just clicking on that like and subscribe. So hopefully you guys are liking the content and tell me some things, you know. Maybe we can improve on some areas and I can get some other stuff out that you guys want to see. Whatever it is, you know, just put it down in the comments and I'll try to make it for you guys. But I really appreciate you guys watching there, and hopefully you guys stick with me. See you on the next one. Thanks.